guess I play semi-pro, right?
No, man, you worse. You Sunday League.
Hello and welcome to the Sunday League Podcast, your home for all things MLB and Fantasy Baseball. I am Thomas Helms, your host, joined by Casey Moore and Cale Davis and James Peeler, my lovely co-hosts. Today we're jumping into the current playoff races, seeing what's going on. A lot of different changes in divisional leads and with the wild card races. So we're going to jump into those. Why don't we start with the red hot Dodgers, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, Dodgers are hot. Freddie Freeman, dog. Dude, I didn't realize Mookie Betts was doing I knew he's Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
But he has been on fire lately.
Yeah. He just single-handedly just destroyed the Marlins.
James Outman is basically becoming freaking Cody Bellinger in his prime, like the MVP year.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jason Hayward, resurgence. I mean, and
David Peralta,
dude,
same thing.
Peralta went to the Deathly Hollows in Tampa Bay last year, so we can't
blame him.
Yeah. Colton Wong. Watch Colton Wong hit like 15 home runs in the postseason, and he's a sick defender. So
they signed him.
Yeah, they picked him up.
I didn't hear that.
I got Rosario, Kike, and Wong.
Yeah, good sign.
Everyone they added from the offseason and the deadline have been hot.
I think Mookie Betts can play in infield just as good as anybody else, but I do think they're a better team with him in right field because he's a center fielder out there as well. So
he can play everywhere.
100%. Yeah, they're 9-1 in their last 10, and they have an 11.5 game lead in the division when they trailed like 2 months ago. So that's very impressive, especially with the Diamondbacks kind of collapsing. They've just kind of Dodgers doing their thing. So I think the Kershaw almost, I wouldn't say resurgence because he's always been Kershaw. He's just been hurt the past couple years.
Dude, that changeup he got now?
Yeah, Kershaw's had a pretty solid year, and I think that's really been huge for him. They just got Urias back pretty recently, so that's been huge for them.
Bueller might be coming back for playoffs.
Which could go either way. But yeah, I mean the Dodgers are just being the Dodgers. I don't think anyone expected any less from them. So
their bullpen still kind of worries me, but
yeah,
Joe Kelly's been incredible back in an LA uniform.
But what I do love is like their starting pitch because they got Lance Lynn, and then they get another guy. Or am I just imagining that?
He's in the bullpen.
Yeah, he's a bullpen, but he's a dang good he can give you 2-3 innings every other game.
Yeah.
But they got some old school with Kershaw and Lynn who can give you just innings eaters. Probably won't lead, like I dare you to try to go get the ball before the 6th inning with Lance Lynn.
Yeah.
He'll fight you. So okay, well.
Sheesh.
I will not allow fat slander on this podcast.
We are not fatphobic.
Yeah. You should see our group message every day, flipping day.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I think talking on the Dodgers, it kind of ties us into the next kind of story of jumping into the NL wild card and seeing how the Diamondbacks had a horrible July. They were leading the NL West and just kind of almost fell off the face of the earth, and they're 3 games above 500 now. So they're 13 games back in the division. I think they're a half game out of the wild card. Let me double check.
1 game.
They're 1 game out of the wild card.
Tie with the game.
So yeah, it's very interesting to look at and think about. But it's just crazy to think about how quickly a baseball season can change too.
Yeah.
So
because I mean, there's like 8 teams that legit have a chance. Because I was like the Braves playing San Francisco right now, and they're like 1.5, 2 games out.
Mm-hmm. They're in it. They're in the wild card. They've got
in it.
They're up a half a game on Chicago.
Oh, so they got in today because they beat the Braves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting looking at it now as opposed to 2 months ago or the beginning of the year. There's 3 central teams making a push for the playoffs. Clearly, one will get in. currently the Brewers have a 4-game lead on the division, but the Cubs and Reds are in it right now, and the Cincinnati Reds are a game back. So I don't think anybody at the beginning of the season expected more than one team to come out of that division. So it'll be interesting to see how it shapes out in the end.
The Reds are either going to be I think they're either going to make it or they're going to fall completely. I don't think they're going to be close at the end, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like they can make an actual run or just fall off the face of the earth.
Cubs are built for it, man.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I mean, the Cubs have that almost, I wouldn't say veteran, but like guys who have been seasoned, have been in the league for a little while and kind of know what they're doing.
They got a leader and a shortstop.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah, they got a leader with the manager too, David Ross, knows the organization.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's why I think Molina would be a great fit for the Cardinals too, possibly as a manager spot. But
they got to do something.
James would be a good fit for the Cardinals at this point.
Hey, don't tell me the good time.
Easy.
How do y'all think it shapes out at the end? Who do you think are the 3 teams that make it into the Central? If you had to pick today.
If I had to pick today, I'd probably I think the Phillies are going to be almost a lock through the rest of the year. I like the Giants, and I think they have the pitching to do really well in the playoffs. But I don't know. I feel like if any team's going to collapse, it could be the Giants and fall out. I don't know. I would like to see Miami also jump back in just to get another NL East team, and I'm sure James would like that.
Please. Give me something to root for.
Yeah. So I think at the end, I think it's Phillies, Cubs, Marlins is my bet on the wild card.
Nice. Okay, what you think?
I want to put the Marlins in there so bad, but I think it's Phillies, Cubs, and Brewers.
In the wild card.
Wait.
So who wins the Central? The Reds.
Sorry. Phillies. Sorry. Phillies, Brewers. Because I think the Cubs win the division.
Ooh.
Really? They're 3 games back right now.
Yeah.
Just for reference.
That's Brewers will go cold or something like that. But the only thing that scares me about that is maybe the Cubs are getting hot at the wrong time.
Yeah. Getting hot a little too early.
Yeah. But if they can, like I said, man, it seems like every other, like Morel hit that walk off the other night. That was electric.
Yeah, that was.
They got good starting pitching.
With Hendricks,
Steele, and then who's because I just thought Strom's not coming back.
They got Talion.
Yeah, but I take that back because I forgot Strom was not coming back.
Yeah.
That changes your vote.
Yeah.
But Kale, I just looked up. So the Cubs have the easiest remaining schedule for the rest of the season.
Where are the Brewers at?
The Brewers have the 22nd. So they're about in the middle.
Still MLB teams.
Top 10.
Yes. But the Giants have the 6th hardest.
Yeah, Giants aren't even about discussion. After watching them against the Braves, like their lineup.
Yeah, honestly. They look bad against the Rays, too.
Yeah. Their lineup's just not there. And other than Logan Webb, and Duvall didn't look great today, even though he threw 2 innings.
Yeah. Acuna's had to run all over. But, I mean, the Giants are 3-7 in the last 10. So they're not.
And I can't stand Gabe Kapler, so.
Where the Marlins on that list?
Marlins
if he goes out with a medium shirt with his sleeves rolled up one more time.
Hey, he's all business.
Man's got hand tattoos. What a loser.
Oh, man. So then where does it shape up?
Okay,
so who wins the Central, and then who are the 3?
So, I got Cubs winning the Central.
Still?
Yeah, still. Because I know I said Stroman, but I've thought about it. I think Stroman doesn't really – I mean, he would help a ton, but – because they got Tyone and then the young kid, not Assad. He moved to the bullpen, right?
No, he started last week.
Yeah, he started a couple days ago too.
And I think he's starting tomorrow too.
James, who'd you pick up?
I picked up Assad.
Oh, listen. I don't even know. I'm drunk.
I picked him up, and I
still think
Thomas
the Cubs got it.
Up.
Because with their lineup, it's a better lineup than the Brewers have. Because I love Willie Adames as a person, but he's not cutting it right now.
I mean, when you actually think about it, all they have, they have more, but Yelich is the only one that stands out to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got a lot of young guys.
Yeah, the Terrain kid.
Santana.
Ooh, Santana.
Yeah. I still think they're going to get. I think they're going to be the top wild card spot in the NL.
So you think they? Yeah. So you still think the Cubs take over first place?
I do.
That's a hot take. I like it.
And then Brewers, Phillies might have the top spot. So I take that back again. So it's Phillies, Brewers. I'm only thinking NL Central.
That was a loaded question. Jeez.
Phillies, Brewers.
It's our podcast.
Do you want us to list who's in it right now?
No, I'm trying to go hot right now. Screw it. Diamondbacks are going to get hot. They're going to get the third spot.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Only one game back right now.
It's possible. I have the Phillies. I also have the Giants falling out. I think Phillies, Cubs, and Arizona. I think the Marlins just miss it.
Don't say that to me.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't see enough from their hitters from the lineup to really dethrone somebody.
And they traded their best player in their whole organization, Khalil Watson.
I will say the hitters that we added have been on fire.
Yeah, Jake Berger,
Josh Bellsman,
Babe Ruth.
Both of them. I still think our biggest problem, I say this every podcast, I feel, is our bullpen. Dave Robinson blew another save. I don't know why we brought him out in the 9th or the 8th, but that's not the point.
The Reds actually have the 27th easiest strength of schedule too, so they're right there.
Really?
I know. I wanted to put them, but I went Diamondbacks.
I think they'll fall off.
They're a little young.
I'd probably still have the Phillies in there, just with their lineup and what they did last year and just what they're capable of. I have them as number 1. I think I agree with y'all with San Fran, with them 3-7 the last 10. Only having a half game jump on the Cubs, Arizona, Cincy, and Miami. I do see them falling out. I see them just missing it. I do see Cubs at 2. I see the Milwaukee winning the division. I think Cincinnati falls, and I'll throw Miami as number 3. Maybe they'll surprise me. Maybe they'll get that little step.
Yeah.
But
you've had hope for all these years. Just keep it going, buddy.
Please, I'm loyalty, baby.
Hey, y'all made it in 2020, though.
Hey, and they got whipped.
Yeah, and the Rays made it to the World Series,
Yeah,
doesn't count.
Rays had a 15-inning game that I wasted my life over last year.
2021.
No, whatever.
2022.
2022, yeah. Same thing.
All right, so jumping over to the AL, we got the Baltimore Orioles have a 3-game lead on Tampa. Toronto's 8.5 back
team
in the East. Sheesh. And then Texas and Houston are 2.5 games separated, and Seattle is only 3 games back of the West.
Close.
Yeah. So I think that's a hot topic that we should jump into.
Because they did basically what, and not to the same extent, but basically what Brewers did last year, trading their closer. But they've been hot ever since that trade.
Airbender, baby.
Yeah. I don't know if I see them making the full jump for the division, but I definitely think they make a wild card spot.
Yeah, no, I don't see
them. I think Houston is too much of a big brother to let that happen. So
yeah.
And Texas.
But historically, Houston's just kind of beat up on the Mariners.
I mean, even if Houston does take the division, Texans are making the wild card. So one of those
Texans,
Houston Texans, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Hey, football season's almost back.
Massage parlor, yeah.
Anyways,
hey, from Cleveland.
I mean, looking at their last 10, the Mariners are 7-3, but in their last 10, both Texas and Houston are 4-6. So they're getting hot at the right time while the other teams in the division are falling off. And I hate to say it, but the Angels are also 4-6 and are now 11.5 games back of the division.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
How does Shohei Ohtani hit a grand slam? Your rookie gets his first career hit. You turn a triple play in the 9th inning, and you lose. Tell me that's not Anaheim baseball.
Welcome to the Angels, baby.
My gosh.
Ain't no Angels in the outfield this year.
No Angels in that outfield, that's for sure.
So, Thomas, who's your 3?
In the AL, let me look at the wild card. Hold on.
I was like, yeah, tell me the people.
Yeah.
All right, so current wild card picture, we've got Tampa with a half-game lead.
The Nationals are in now.
Lead.
Tampa has a 5-game lead.
Tampa has a 5-game lead. I read it wrong. Houston has a half-game lead. Seattle's a lock. Toronto's a half-game back. Boston's 3 games back, and the Angels are 8.5 back.
If the Red Sox play the Yankees every game, they'll go in. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, the Yankees are 9 games back.
Yeah. Did y'all see that stat about Julio? Speaking of the AOS, Julio Rodriguez having like 17 hits and Yankees having the same amount in 4 games?
Yep. In the last 4 games.
Yeah. I know this isn't on our list, but did y'all see that former minor leaguer come out and like just demolish the Yankees?
Yeah, I did see that.
Like what stupidity. You don't get points if you don't hit 95 miles per hour. Luis Suarez would have negative 37 points. Like, and he's leading. Like, I get to an extent. Like, you want to hit the ball hard, whatever. But I mean, especially with the shifts, man. I can't tell you how many times I watch a little blooper go through the infield because of the shift. I know it's not all the way this year, but still, you're moving players.
Yep.
Which I like. I mean, I understand it.
Yeah, I think they just jumped in too hot on the analytical side, and it just kind of bit them in the butt. They kind of avoided baseball, which is it's surprising for a Yankees-esque organization to go that far.
With that right field wall, man, they should just be adding lefties. Like, heck, bring Chris Davis back. See what he can do.
Jeez.
Bring Gallo back.
Oh yeah, well.
I saw something that it was with Gallo, their record was like 110 and 40, and since they've traded him or dropped him, whatever,
they were
like
500.
40 and 100. It's ridiculous. That's just a missing piece.
But yeah, okay, AOS.
Anyways, for
ADD here.
AL wild card. I think Tampa's a lock at this point. I got to give Houston a spot, and then I like what it is right now. I would stick with Seattle.
So you got Texas winning the division?
I think Texas wins the division, yes.
Okay.
With their lineup and their pitching, especially the guys they picked up at the deadline to add, I think they win the division.
Okay, I like that.
So
yeah, I got. How many games in the division is Houston back? I know you said, but
2.5.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
that was close.
I don't see Texas going 2.5 this late in the season because, like you said, pickups they had. Because Scherzer's going to get he plays up all the time. I've always liked the Montgomery kid.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm not kidding anymore, but whatever. So yeah, okay. Texas winning. So Houston has the top spot.
Tampa has a top spot.
But this is my prediction.
Oh, this is your.
Have you ever heard of it yet?
Sorry.
I'm reading. My Globe.
Sorry, buddy.
Dan Plesac. I just really don't want to put Tampa, but Tampa second. Even with the controversy.
Allegations.
Yeah. Allegations.
Accusations.
Yeah, that's what it is.
False accusations. Might not be false. Anyways.
Who's it? Okay, last question. Who's in it right now? The top 3.
Right now, top 3 is Tampa, Houston, Seattle, which was also my top 3.
I know.
And then Toronto's a half game back, and Boston's 3 games back.
Screw it. I'll put Boston in there.
Really?
I don't want to, but I just don't want to do the same as you.
What's their schedule? Did you look that up?
You could have put Toronto in there.
Boston has
You put Boston over Toronto?
Yeah, they lost Bobichet's not really. I don't think he's like fully healthy with the knee thing.
He came back and homered.
I mean, I could homer in 160 bats. I don't know. I just don't think Barrios has had a good year, but I've had a great year. I've had faith in him every single year. Even back with Minnesota Twins, I've had faith in that kid, and he has just screwed me over every year in fantasy. So yeah, I'll put Boston getting hot.
You put them in the 3?
Yeah.
Ooh. Over who? Over the Mariners?
Over Mariners and Toronto. It's an interesting take.
I have them over Toronto too. I don't believe in the Blue Jays, honestly. After Gosman, I think their starting pitching is very iffy. I like the back of their bullpen. Obviously, with Hicks and Romano is good, but they're another team that kind of surprises me, like the White Sox, with a lineup that is just very, on paper looks great. They just don't seem to perform very well. And I don't know what it is, but yeah. But Boston does have the hardest schedule for the rest of the season.
Thanks for telling me that now.
Well, I was trying to say it, but you're speaking over me.
I'm always over you, buddy.
Anyway, so yeah, Boston. I have more faith in them over the Blue Jays, but I still have the Mariners in the 3rd spot. Hot take, I also think the Mariners, if they make it, could make a push for the World Series. They really have their starting pitching is just so dominant, and now we're really seeing what that offense can do. I mean, their offense is built around not just one player. I mean, Julio is probably like the spark of that team, and obviously now that he's getting hot, that the teams are looking good. But I mean, they got a good mixture of bat to ball skills and power with Eugenio, Power Raleigh, all that kind of stuff. Boy. Yeah. So, and then I think Munoz is very capable of being a good closer.
100%.
Now the past couple of days he's been
8th inning. He got the 8th inning today. Kale, what you think about that?
Don't care.
Who closed it? Flexen? Was it Chris Flexen?
It was one of the new guys. I don't know.
But yeah, so that's my take.
So who's your top 3 then?
For
the wild card.
Oh, the Rays 1, Astros 2, Mariners 3.
No worries.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
That's it.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Red Sox made it, just but I still think the Mariners still edge them out, especially with the Red Sox having the hardest schedule.
So boring.
Yeah,
we're here for hot takes.
James, give us some hot takes, James.
Oh! I got some in the city.
Angels win the World Series.
Angels make the hottest run.
It was
Tampa misses the playoffs.
Gabe Spear who got the save for the Mariners. I don't know who that is.
Never heard of him.
But so for my standings, I'll have the Rays I'll still have the Rays with 5 games up. I don't think they're even going to get out of the playoffs, even if they go down the 3rd. I do see Houston taking over and winning the division, but I do see Texas Rangers still making it. I feel like they'll just swip spots. And I don't see, like what Casey said, with their tough division. And their pitching, I don't see them. I mean, Sale, he came out strong. He's kind of struggling now. Other than that, I got Crawford. I don't see anything happening there. Pavetta's not bad. Bello. I just don't see that having that push. Toronto, I think they'll flunk like it did last year, and I do have Seattle as my 3 if they make it, or if Tampa falls down. But those are my 3: Tampa, Texas, Seattle. I see Houston winning that division.
You're welcome, fans. I give you the hot takes.
Banging that trash can.
I do what it takes. I'm not scared of being wrong. I'm wrong every day. Can we talk about it now?
Go for it.
Oh, thank God. Speaking of Little League World Series, it's not a laughing matter.
Oh
serious. Wander Franco, Bonco. Who cares? You know, he's gone. Like I don't see a way unless the allegations are false.
Hey, hot take in reverse. Bauer and Franco take over Japan.
Yeah, MVP and Cy Young.
Oh, Bauer throws 130 pitches and Franco goes 7 at bats
for the next 30 years. But yeah,
my goodness.
We've talked about this a lot off camera, and so I'm a big person. I don't believe this, but I try to 100%. I try to see every angle. You know what I mean? Right? Because I firmly believe anything that happens in this world, it can happen to anybody.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never say, "Oh, what a piece of crap" or anything like that. But in a culture, I get it. But you are in the Major League Baseball, making millions and millions of dollars. And especially today with social media and all this crap. What goes to a person's head to think they can get away with anything? I mean, there's zero privacy in this world.
No.
And to be 14 years old, yes, I know she's on social media and has allegedly been with other higher ups in the rap community, all that stuff. Don't you dare. He's married. Oh yeah, so is Franco with 2 kids. Yeah,
with 2 kids.
Yeah, at least Acuna is smart enough to. Nah, I'll shut up. But I don't understand the stupidity of it. Of just the risk. I mean, even I don't understand cheating in general.
Yep.
But because I couldn't do it. But I don't know. What y'all's takes on it?
I don't have much to say. I mean, I kind of agree with you to a T, Kale. I mean, it's
I'm a genius.
Sad to see, but also he's got to be held accountable for his actions. Yeah. He also should have known going into whatever it was, and there's been also secondary stuff of she wasn't actually just 14, that kind of thing. So we don't know until we know the facts, but seeing all the tweets and things of saying Wander Franco's very, very likely to never play in Major League Baseball again is kind of leading me to believe that it's a little more true, especially if there's other women coming out about it. So, cheating on your wife with 2 kids as well.
That's tough enough for me. But like I've said before, that's immoral, not illegal if she's of age and everything. And just to be completely real, I don't you might have to edit this out, but all the women that you can have in that position,
just with the money and the fame.
Yeah, that dude could have anybody he wants.
Right.
Maybe anybody.
Like I said, I don't believe in it. I don't believe in cheating. I don't believe in premarital sex or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But in this world that we live in, it happens.
Yeah.
Go with somebody. I mean, have 30 girls that are 19. Yeah. I mean, and two, the biggest thing for me is the kid's only 22 years old. You know what I mean? You're gonna but you've also been in the big leagues and you've basically been an adult since you're 17.
Right.
So not the big leagues, but you've been a professional since you were 17. Yeah. So you can't tell me he didn't know he was doing wrong.
Right.
All right, Casey. Wander's #1 fan.
Resident Rays fan here.
I'll lead off with saying I should have bought Yandy Diaz jersey right
Yeah, you can sell it for 14 cents.
Yeah.
So I continue. Thomas, just mute me. Just mute me, because I'm not gonna be able to stop.
So I went with Diaz, or I went with Franco because he signed the bid long contract now in Rays. Guys, we never keep guys longer than 2 years. Diaz wasn't extended or anything, so I just went with the money and went with the secure thing. I thought obviously getting a guy for for 11 years. Anyways,
brutal.
The thoughts. There's a lot of speculations going on. We don't know any facts.
Guys, real quick, POV of Wander Franco in the Tampa Bay Rays lineup. Not there.
So yeah, there's a lot of speculations. We don't know a lot of facts. Obviously, there's speculations coming out saying that there's another woman that's spoken out saying that she's 17 that had the same relationships with him. There's also conversation saying that they have been together ever since she was 9 years old. So what I mentioned before in earlier podcasts could be correct about her, him and her being together at 9 years old. Again, speculation. There's a lot of things going on saying, obviously, with like the whole Dominican Republic, there's a lot of speculation, and it kind of also mentioned about Albert Pujols. When he came over to America, they thought he was 19 when he was actually 25.
Wow.
Because of like documentation over there is sometimes not can get thrown away, or who knows. So there's an even tougher time of proving how old she really is. Again, I mean, to both of y'all's point, it should have been a no-go from the get-go, right? Mm-hmm. So that kind of rhymes.
That was kind of fire.
So yeah, I mean that's the end to it. Hate to see it from a guy that has such a great, a big
future.
Yeah, has such a great future ahead of him.
Always looking into the future, you know what I'm saying?
And so, but since then, we've made some moves from our minor leagues with those Levis Basabe. He's been doing pretty good over there.
Dog.
And then Curtis Mead, we've also brought him up. He's been producing as well. Since this has all happened, it doesn't look like the Rays have really struggled without him, which is actually maybe obviously to the point of beginning earlier in the season with the whole negativity in the clubhouse and everything. Who knows? Maybe it could benefit the Rays. As much as I hate to say that, you never want to see anything bad happen to any star in the MLB, But from a Rays fan and a Rays perspective, just looking in the future, maybe it turns out to be a better thing for the organization in a whole. Mm-hmm. But just it's a bad situation all around. But just trying to look at certain positives.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he was a toxic teammate and a negative influence in the clubhouse, like it could definitely boost morale and kind of say, well, now we don't have this guy riding on our shoulders type thing. Could definitely be a good thing for the Rays. So,
could be.
Yeah, interested to see how y'all finish out.
Mm-hmm. All right, WS.
Still don't care.
Don't care.
Braves in 7.
Braves
if it's a 47, if it's a 7, it's a 47. Just forget it.
Yeah.
Speak English.
English.
I know what I want to say. I can't get it out. Dyslexia is a real thing, guys.
I want to jump in and kind of piggyback on going back to the AL playoff picture. Get you guys' take on the Angels front office, because obviously they went out and added a bunch at the deadline, and now they're sitting at 8.5 games back from a wild card spot.
Yeah.
So, do you think keeping Ohtani and adding was the wisest decision in hindsight, as opposed to trading him and getting a good return and still having a chance to re-sign him in free agency?
You can go first this time.
From my standpoint, from a business perspective, I would say that they should have traded him, because they'll get, like Thomas said, they'll get a ton in return. Because now I don't see them signing Ohtani. I mean, they could, but I just don't see him coming back to what he just had last season or this season. From a business perspective, like I said, if they would have sold him, they could have got prospects out the wazoo.
They could have gotten MLB ready talent.
Exactly. So I think selling him at the deadline because you're not going to sign him and Trout. That's not going to happen. But selling him at the deadline should have been something they should have done because now they're stuck. Now they have all these vets that they signed at the offseason that didn't pan out.
Yep.
So now you're just going to lose Ohtani to a huge market team and get nothing in return. So you're right back where you started.
But my response to that is, say they were doing good and that they were in a playoff picture, would you be sitting here and saying the same thing?
Yes. Because I don't see the Angels beating the Braves. Because even if for them adding at the deadline, yeah, they added a ton of hitters, they really didn't add pitching. I mean, they have Ohtani.
Yeah, they got Giolito, but
Giolito, he hasn't looked sharp with the Angels, and then behind him is Anderson and Patrick Sandoval, Detmers. So I mean, a lot of mid guys, not really someone that push you over the edge. But
yeah,
I mean, if they were in the playoff picture, maybe. But I just don't see the Angels as a strong team to make a huge push, even with Trout staying on the IL for some time for this year. So I think as from a business perspective, you should have sold him and got a ton of pieces, and then think about for next year.
Yeah,
Just my stand on it.
I think I see where they're going because I think their mindset was solely on Ohtani in a way of, we want to prove to him, we want to show him we're not trying to waste you. We want to try and put the best pieces out there. We want to make a push for you. So I am 100% okay with them doing that. Now, with that risk, there comes a little bit of, obviously now that we see, they're going to struggle for a long time now again. So they could have really made a really big step forward for the next 10 years, or like they did, they kind of put a Band-Aid over it this year, I guess you could say, and just kind of said, you know what, let's show him, let's show Shohei. I'm just on it tonight.
Bars.
Show Shohei how committed we are to him, and maybe Shohei really appreciates that, and he'll take it into consideration coming into the after the season, and just say, you know what, they were loyal to me, and maybe that's, I mean, Shohei seems to be a very loyal, very down to earth guy, so maybe that goes a long way for him and the organization. I mean,
so maybe they got a plan. Maybe they will resign him. You don't know.
Yeah. Maybe. I think I would agree with everything you just said about Shohei. Like, I definitely think he seems like a loyal guy. Seems like he would show. He's very respectful. Obviously, just Japanese culture in general. But I think above all, he wants to win. And over the past 6 years he's been in this league, they haven't done that, and they haven't. I think if the Angels wanted to keep him, they should have done something 2 years ago to say, all right, we're going to compete, because he hasn't sniffed the playoffs since he's been in the major leagues. So, I mean, in my opinion,
look at him at the World Baseball Classic.
Exactly.
He was having a blast.
He's having a blast. His hair was on fire. He was just playing with his entire heart. So,
exactly.
Yeah, I think he's just a competitor, and he wants to win, which, I mean, I don't blame him. And I don't know what it is about the Angels. They're just like a cursed franchise. They just can have the biggest guys and just not figure it out. But that being said, you know, it takes more than two guys to win a baseball game. In my opinion, and you guys know this, I was on the trade Shohei train kind of from the beginning. Like I said on our deadline episode, like, I respect it. I respect them saying, like, all right, we're gonna try it. We're gonna see. We're close enough. I think they were at that point. They were maybe 4 games back of the wild card. So, like, I really respected them saying, all right, we're committed. We're gonna go for it. But with that, I do think they should have traded him, mainly because of what you said, Casey, of, like, now they're just kind of stuck for the next few years, and they don't really have anything in return for him. In my opinion, their best move to keep or to get Shohei in free agency would have been to trade him for big pieces, get good return, and say, look, we're not going to be good this year. We're not going to go for it this year. but we're going to have pieces next year that if you come back, we will have added to this team, gotten better, and can add you back to this team and win a championship. That should have been the pitch from the start. They should have been completely honest and open with him. Do I think he still could sign somewhere else? Absolutely, but they're going to be better off for it.
Yeah.
So, and I know I'm not a general manager. I know things don't work 100% like that, but I think that for his perspective and with his respectful character and with him being loyal, like I think he would have respected that and said, they're going to let me go out here and compete with a team that's going to give my team a better chance to win in the next few years that I can come back and play with. But that's my take.
Yeah, I'm glad you added, like, because that all sounds good, but it's also a reality of that just doesn't happen.
Right.
Okay, so I've got 2 points. My first one is I don't think as a general manager you can be the guy that trades Shohei Ohtani. I know that sounds stupid, but like it's hard to be that guy.
Yep.
My second point is Artie Moreno, the owner. He, ever since he's gotten the team, and this is just me, he has done nothing to actually try to get wins. He's done everything to try to get ticket sales and money. Because going back to when he first got it, like, as much as I love Josh Hamilton, I love Albert Pujols, he signed those two guys for $1 kajillion and C.J. Wilson. Like, big name guys who just weren't worth the money, but everybody knew who they were. And I feel like that's what he did this year. Yeah. I feel like that's what he did this year with, okay, let's just make it look like we're trying. Because, I mean, Mike Moustakas isn't going to put you up top. Who's other, like, yeah, Escobar is definitely, he's going to put you. And as much as, like, I look at Giolito as a small market. Like, he belongs to a small market.
Yeah.
Because when he was coming up with the Nationals, that was when they were pretty hot with Bryce Harper. You know, they were good.
Yeah.
And he crapped the bed. And then when he goes to Chicago, nobody really watches Chicago. Nobody cares about them. So he pitched good. And then when he goes to a quote-unquote contender, now we're seeing who he really is again. He's not pitching that well. So I don't think he's built for the limelight. And that's, again, like, I know I don't know what I'm talking about, but when
you say small market, do you mean like low budget or not competitive?
Not competitive. I think he'd be a Cy Young contender on the Kansas City Royals. I mean, I think, like, if there's any bit of pressure, he hasn't proved that he can do anything with it. Because he was the number one prospect in the league, and he never lived up to it. Then he gets traded to, and yeah, he changes mechanics, all that crap. I get it, but I'm not saying that he doesn't work hard and try. I'm not saying that, but some people just aren't built for the spotlight and pressure. And it's not, and
Shohei Ohtani, because that's
right. And I'm really not trying to take away from Lucas Giolito. I'm just saying what I've seen throughout the years. And as an organization, I am trying to take away from Artie Moreno because I think he's a scumbag. But biggest thing is, like, in the contract, because when they were with Anaheim, they signed a contract. The city paid for everything, the new stadium, everything. But they couldn't take away the name of Anaheim. They had to be the Anaheim Angels. Well, he moves them to L.A. and makes them the L.A. Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So technically, he didn't break the contract, but he broke the contract. You know, like, he found a loophole and he just want money because LA was a bigger money pit. He's just a money hungry owner. And I've read somewhere where he might sell. So
I hope
he sells for Mike Trout's case. But yeah, that's my tip talk.
Speaking on the Angels, how do y'all feel about them speeding up the process with a lot of their big name minor leaguers? Do you think it's? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
Yeah,
I'm not big on it, honestly.
I mean, how good is their farm system? It's not
that good. But
so
I mean,
in
the past year, they have brought up, is it 4 now guys within the past 2 years of being drafted? Because they brought up Ben Joyce, Zach Neto. Who's
O'Hoppe
is it only
was
three?
when they're long.
The guy they just brought up.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but I know you're talking about first baseman.
Came from FAU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he literally got drafted 2 months ago.
Yeah, 6 weeks ago. Yeah.
Which is wild.
18 games, yeah.
Which is wild.
I mean, he slashed, what,
before the draft,
371?
a lot of people were saying, I read this in a couple articles, but a lot of people were saying he was the most MLB ready hitter in the draft. But
right.
I don't know. I mean, I guess they liked what they saw, and so
he looked pretty decent against the Rays. I mean, I think he
Nolan
already has
Schaumel. Yeah, I'm all for bringing up guys, early, but
Just
there's a point in time where it just gets desperate.
Yeah, I think it's either desperate or, I mean, in my opinion, it's only weird if it doesn't work, kind of thing. And like when they first brought up Neto, he was kind of struggled for a little bit, but then he got hot pretty quick. So I mean, in my opinion, I think I honestly don't like when teams keep their prospects, like the Rays keeping their prospects down for so long. But also you got to look at who's their competition up top. When you're coming through, you're looking at org charts and things like that. The Angels really didn't have a lot of competition up top in most of these positions that they're bringing these guys up in. So I think that could play a big role in it. And then they're just trying to, like you said, maybe get butts in seats and say like, oh, new prospects, let's go see these guys, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like
to your point of them being desperate, the first night that they played the Rays, not yesterday, but the day before, so Friday night they played the Rays. It went into like the 10th inning. Obviously, they still had their closer in there, who hasn't been the same Estevez at the very beginning of the season at all.
Thomas
yeah, so good move, Thomas. But it just really showed they had a game Friday night, knowing that they had a doubleheader the next day, and they're keeping a closer in for 2 innings that hasn't gone 2 innings for the whole season. It just, to your point, just really shows that they are like throwing all chips in the table. They are borrowing money from their guy next to them and saying, "Hey, can we bet? Can we use your money to bet on this game?" It's just really like they are just throwing it all in there with no sense of like knowing what they're doing. Just saying, "We got to get a win. We got to get a win. We got to get hot somehow." So, but
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I mean, I guess we'll see how it pans out, but I don't think going back to the Shohei thing, I don't think that looks good for him to see these guys haven't played in the minor leagues for a year. Like, why are they already here? That kind of thing. So I think it just adds to the case that he's definitely not coming back in free agency. But anyways, anything else on that?
Though? He's not going. I don't think he goes to East Coast.
Early predictions.
Oh, yeah, he probably doesn't want the taxes.
The only place I see him possibly going, because I mean, it was, and I'm going back to his teams that he wanted when he came over here, was Seattle. Seattle was a big one.
That was exactly what I was going to say.
So,
and the chant at the All-Star game,
yeah,
that would be awesome.
That would be crazy.
I'd love to see him in
That'd
Seattle.
That'd be huge for Seattle too.
That might be, yeah.
Especially if they make either a wild card or if they come back and win the division.
Don't start to curse now.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
You heathen.
Yeah. Wander Franco is the first jersey I've ever bought in my life, and look at what happened. So
never again.
Don't buy one of those.
God, close.
Kale saying Nuggets.
I would agree with Kale. I think Mariners is probably the most likely. I don't think they might not give him the best, like, highest offer, but I think that's the most likely fit.
A team that's going to be good for a while, a nice play to actually live, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I would agree with what Kale said of him not wanting to be East Coast, mainly because of the proximity to Japan for family and things like that. So,
I mean,
what's
the Dodgers didn't really make.
Whatever.
Who cares? So the Dodgers didn't really make a lot of moves, so I mean they're
They're loading it for him.
Yeah, I would say they're loading up to make a huge offer. But I don't know if he wants to play in LA. I don't know if like the taxes or playing late, blah blah blah. All that
He's already playing in LA.
Mariners would be nice. I don't think he goes to the Yankees. Everyone hates the Yankees.
No. I think the Mets will try, but I don't think he'll go there.
If he comes to the Mets,
maybe
his career's going to die.
That's like maybe Boston with a short porch. That'd be nice.
I think Philly is a sleeper team.
Philly's a sleeper team for a time?
I guess the Phillies will be pissed.
Maybe. Boston would be a sleeper. Philly would be a sleeper.
Yeah, they have
Braves
said,
before. Don't care.
They have said Boston possibly to match him up with
Yoshida.
Yoshida, yeah.
That's racist.
Or maybe
that's not racist.
They're teammates.
Maybe
they were teammates in the WBC.
Or like in case they go to the Mets with Senga. Match up them too. That'd be nice.
Yeah, they're teammates.
But I just don't see
but they're not competing. So
yeah, they're 2026.
I'll say one thing that I can pretty much guarantee. I don't even think the Braves make him an offer. No shot. 100% sure.
With what they
y'all are gonna be,
the Rays
gonna be pissed at me. But if we give him an offer and we don't sign Max Fried, I'll be pissed.
If we land I would 100% take Shohei over Max Fried.
Of course you would. Zero loyalty. Go for the
zero loyalty, but you get two players in one. Hey, he could go there too. Never know.
Hey, he could.
Yeah, so could I.
Match up with Fujinami again.
Oh my gosh!
What's another Japanese player in the league? Goodness gracious! Let's bring Masahiro Tanaka back.
Hideki Matsu.
Yeah. Gazia.
Anyways,
who's that Kawasaki guy for the Blue Jays? His last name might not have been Kawasaki.
Banana.
Kikuchi?
Nah, it's like Kawasaki. Yeah.
Yes.
It's something like that.
He does. Oh, like banana.
Yeah,
like that dude. Funny guy.
I don't even think that guy's in the league anymore.
With cramps.
No.
Banana.
But
monkey, no cramps.
Yeah.
Monkey never cramp because monkey eat banana. Oh man,
we're canceled.
Anyways, you guys want to do a quick playoff picture for the Sunday League and then hop off of here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Please.
Oh, and
right.
beat the streak.
God.
All right.
Please God.
Currently in first place, we have James Peeler at 13-5. Tied for first place is the Blooper Ratios, also 13-5. But I'm playing James this week.
So wait, you're not tied with me.
James is going to be up. So it'll be James is the 1 seed, Thomas is the 2 seed. 3 seed will be a toss-up between Casey and Kale. And then the bottom 2 are the guys that aren't on here. Our buddy Chance, and then the ghost, Ethan, who hasn't checked his team since week 3.
Our good friend Chance, and then, just kidding, Ethan.
Our good buddy Chance, who's in dental school, who doesn't have the time to be on a podcast.
He's fighting for his life, and he's having a kid.
Fighting for his life. His wife's pregnant.
He's not going to be friends with
doing
us,
everything.
He's a dog.
Yeah.
He's grown up for all of us.
Yeah, facts. Look at my teeth.
He's the adult of the friend
I'm going
group.
to need him.
Yeah, not like I'm married and Casey's engaged. Anyways, but
and I'm engaged.
Don't care.
Well. Don't care.
yeah, so
I'm so ready. I'm so single and so ready to mingle.
slide in our
Just
DMs
kidding.
if you want to join the Sunday League. Slide in our DMs if you want to date Kale.
Please do not. Just kidding. You wouldn't want to.
So anyways, currently we've got Casey's 10-8, or will be 11-8 after this week, and then Kale will be 9-10. So that puts them within 2 games of each other. Casey's next 2 games are against me and against James, 2 higher seeded teams. And then Kale, who's your next 2 games?
James and Chance.
James and Chance. So
I'm going to beat James.
Big if Kale wins out the next 2 weeks and Casey loses, they tie, and Kale would probably
you owe
have
me 37 more things.
So if they went out, if Kale wins out, he would potentially be able to get the 3rd seed from Casey if he has enough
He
points.
scores more.
So it will come down to total points, which they will both probably have more total points than me, and yet I will still be above them.
Right.
Anyways.
I think Casey has, 300 points higher than Kale?
Currently...
Oh, don't you even dare say 4.
It is, right at 300.
And I think Casey scored a little bit more, so it might be like 3.
And Kale has 300 more than I do.
Ooh.
And I have 6
or
5 more wins. Anyways, that's just what good GMs do, Kale. Sorry.
Hey.
You're Tampa Bay Ray. I get it. You're going to start rooting for them now.
Hey, small ball wins championships. Hey, I'll fill out an application. Anyways, but that's the current picture. Our playoffs are top 2 seeds get a bye. The bottom 4 will play each other, and then from there, the lower seeded team will play James, because he's pretty much a lock at the 1 seed now, unless he loses out and I win out. And then the higher seed will play me, and then beyond there, we'll see what happens in the championship. So
It's
we will keep you guys up to date on that.
It's a lose-lose for me, because I hate both of you as fantasy owners. Great friends, love you to death, but hate you as fantasy owners.
For context, Kale treats a fantasy team like it is a real-life team, and these players have feelings and care what he does with them.
Yeah.
No.
That's what fourth place will get you.
I have feelings. And I'm a freaking genius, so.
Anyways. Y'all got any more comments on that?
Yeah, y'all are the worst.
Can't wait till the playoffs.
Can't wait for playoffs. It's going to be a good way to...
We can't win games in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Can't win a game in
playoffs. I think last time we spoke about the league, I was on like a 7-game losing streak, so it's good to finally be back in the win.
He won.
He beat Casper.
He beat Casper. I think he scored 112 points.
You still won? And then you beat
like 12.
Chance this week. So, anyways. But,
beat the streak.
We're doing Beat the Streak.
Beat the streak.
On Instagram.
We are on the streak to 56.
So we are, all of us are really into the app called MLB Play.
Download it.
If anybody is...
code Sunday League.
Hasn't ever heard of it, it's a great little app. You know, they have this game called Pickle. They have this game called Beat the Streak, where if you guess 56 players, you can double down and guess 2. And it can jump your score from 2 to 4, all that kind of stuff. And if you get 56 days in a row or 56 people that you've chosen, right, you have the chance to win $5.6 million. Now,
so just know, you can be a millionaire in 28 days.
So
think about that for a second. Why not?
If you get both of them, okay. Let's say that math.
If you double down in a month,
hypothetically,
maybe a month and a half.
But anyway, so it's just a little fun thing that I think we're really going to start doing. You'll probably see on our Instagram some of us playing Pickle.
Couch.
We'll play some
not
Pickle
like a
and all
full-time
that
job
kind of
or
stuff.
Excuses. Not committed.
We got it.
Sorry, Case.
Anyways,
speak up.
So
we can't hear you down there.
Just a fun way. You can play with us. You can play along with us. Shut up, Kale.
I'm just upset, man. I'm in 4th place.
I can take this serious.
All right. Who's your 2 picks?
We'll get a piece.
So obviously,
we're going for Monday.
So Monday, since we're recording on Sunday, and we're recording after all the games have already gone. To be honest, I haven't really looked. Right now, Corey Seager is obviously pretty hot, so he's always a good guess. He also has
Jordan's about to face Emerson Hancock.
Who?
Exactly. Oh no, that was the day.
I'll probably go with Corey Seager as one of them. Since I'm at 0 right now, I'll probably double down because
Trey Turner and Scott Alexander.
So Yeah, Harper against Alexander.
Oh, lefty on lefty, so Trey Turner.
Yeah. Luis Arraez against San Diego.
Against who cares?
It doesn't say, but he
Man's
was
gonna get
0-4 in his last game. He's due. Acuna against Peterson, who he is 3 for 15 against him, so only batting 200. He's a favorite on the app. Robert, I chose him for the past few days. He's been getting me some pretty good ones, except for this past one. He broke my streak. So
Brutal.
But yeah.
Sleeper. Zach, is it Geloff? Gelof. So Geloff against Tucker Davidson, Kansas City. The former Brave, so he's trash.
All right, my 2, I got Alex Bregman, and Corey Seager.
Texas?
I doubled down and went Corey Seager and Florida Gurriel.
Ooh,
I like it.
Who's yours picks?
Mine, I'm going to go with Luis Arraez, facing the Padres. It will be Blake Snell, but I think they'll get to the pen, and then he'll get a hit. And then I'm going with a sneaky one. I'm going to go with Cody Bellinger against Alex Faedo of the Detroit Tigers.
Sneaky. He's only batting 300 this year.
Y'all weren't mentioning him, so.
I know y'all. I ain't told my picks. Cool. All right, I've got.
Who you got? Acuna.
Nope. Acuna 2.0. Julio Rodriguez against Tuki Toussaint.
Ooh.
And then Zach Geloff against Tucker Davidson. Y'all haven't even heard of that guy.
Changing mine. I'm adding J-Rod instead of Bregman.
Yeah, you
good
are.
Picks.
Listen to Master Sensei.
Yeah. Well, I'm going back to Bregman. Not listening to you.
Lose your money, buddy.
All right. Well, I think that's
who has the best streak next pod.
We'll see.
Didn't even know this app existed.
Anyways. All right, well, that's about all we got. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe here on YouTube. If you are on Spotify, give us a rating. Make sure you follow anywhere you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, Deezer, whatever it is.
What was Bezos?
We got it all.
Bezos, whatever. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all the places. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you haven't listened to the first episode and you're like, who are these guys? Go back and listen to it.
It's just kind of obese idiot. Yeah.
It's just kind of an introduction to who we are. Gives you a little bit of context of our league, that kind of thing, and why we talk about what we want to talk about. So thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you again next week.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
My life.